Here inside Quicken Loans Arena, Cavs a winner tonight against the Indiana Pacers, 95-92. The Cavs officially clinch a playoff spot, now the third team in the NBA to accomplish that feat. Chris Fedor, Vardon, Chris Haynes to recap this one. And Chris, very significant, I would say, that on the night that the Cavs clinched their playoff spot, they turned to the guy who came back to bring the Cavs back to the playoffs. LeBron James was terrific in the fourth.
Good point. Step one. This is step one of the whole goal that he has for this organization, for him, for his own personal goals. Before you win a championship, you have to clinch a playoff spot, and they did that. And at the top of that, they're playing at an extravagant level, man. You look at how they're doing it, how they're winning games, and this was one way of showing that, hey, the versatility of this team. They can get out and run. They can get out and bruise down low. Now they're showing that they can slow the game down, and that's what postseason play is all about, slowing the game down. They were able to do that against the Indiana Pacers. They're looking good.
Yeah. You think the same thing there, Joe?
Well, I do, but I really liked everyone's answers about making the playoffs tonight, and especially LeBron, because he's been talking all year about his experience as a 12-year pro and how there's nothing he hasn't seen. He's been to all these finals. So for him to step back and say, well, wait a minute, the fact that we clinched the playoffs tonight, that's cool. Yeah. And the guys who haven't done it before, they should appreciate that. I really like that. I thought that was the right tone. And I agree with Chris. They're just playing really well right now.
Yeah, I mean, we had a chance to talk to Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson in the locker room after. And guys, obviously, they've been through so much since they came into the NBA here. All they knew before, lottery trips, losing streaks, long vacations, changing coaches, changing general managers, and you could kind of tell, even though they're trying to keep it in perspective and they do understand that it's about something bigger, you could kind of tell that it was like, oh, thank goodness, this is what we came here for.
Yeah, no, you can definitely see the sense of relief from this ball club. And the thing is, with Tristan and Kyrie, those guys, they were young, they were going through, they had to go to take their bows, they had to take their lumps. But one thing that happens, I've seen it happen. Young guys, when they get put in the bad situations early on in their career, it rules them throughout the rest of their career. They didn't get to that point, and I think LeBron James coming back definitely helped that. But I think they're on the right path, they're on the right track, and I still think they're hungry. Yeah. I didn't get the sense that they were like, hey, they're happy they got here, but I didn't get the sense that they were just, they're going to settle for that. They want more.
Joe, tonight's win against Indiana kind of in a way reminded me of the win against San Antonio from the perspective of there was one team on the other side of the court that was trying to do it as a team. They didn't have the one guy just to take over the game. In San Antonio, it was Kyrie. Tonight, it was LeBron. He took 9 of their last 10 shots. Can that continue to work for the Cavs late in games when they're in these tightly contested games?
Well, I think, first of all, I think your observation overall is correct, but I think there were some minor differences tonight. Like, I think that whereas the other night where Kyrie was just literally throwing the ball in the basket from wherever he was. Tonight, LeBron was getting his points with a little bit more motion. He was dribbling off some screens, and it wasn't just the typical high ball screen all the time. I also thought that Coach Blatt did a little bit different. So some different things defensively. He put him on Shumpert, on George Hill, who was just killing the Cavs. So there were the difference is there were some late game adjustments this time that aided, whereas in San Antonio, it was, like I've said, it was just Kyrie being ridiculous and LeBron helping a little.
In the fourth quarter, it was a lot of LeBron. Everybody understood that. Everybody saw the game and saw him take over. Before LeBron, though, there was Matthew Dellavedova hitting a big three, then another big three, then another big three, Chris.
That's your guy.
That's your guy.
That's my favorite Cavalier player.
You and David Blatt.
I'll take him. Right now, he's my favorite Cavalier player. But no, he gets a lot of flack, man. I've written some critical things about him and how Blatt uses him, and I still believe some of those things are true. But tonight, man, you can't deny him. Just like Kyrie Irving said, you can't deny me out on the court. You couldn't deny Matthew Dellavedova out there on the court. It was funny because Kyrie Irving was playing so hard on defense. Blatt had to pull and put Dellavedova on George Hill. He did a little bit better. George Hill, still did his thing. But that was just to show the confidence level that Blatt had in Matthew Dellavedova. And when you see Dellavedova out there hitting shots, pressuring, on the defensive end, he's at his best right there. That's when he's fitting well. It's just the problem I've always had is when do you pull it? You know, because like everything's going good so far, but let's get them out. Let's keep them at a good pace, a good steady momentum, but get them out. You know, but everything so far, Black played his cards right, just like Joe said, man. Late game adjustments down there. Black actually. Not to discredit him at all, but he actually had a part to play in this game.
Not to discredit him.
I kind of did. Yeah.
No kidding.
Whatever, but it is what it is. Black made some adjustments tonight, and you don't see that too often, but he did, and give him kudos.
Anytime you start with a qualifier like that, come on, Chris, you know how it goes.
I tried.
Not to be mean, but not to discredit David Black, but wow, he stumbled upon something here tonight.
He did. Give him credit.
In the regular season, Joe, the Cavs and Pacers, they played 4 times. They've split the series. This one was another close game, 95-92, came down to the wire. I feel like since the Cavs made their roster changes in mid-January, the Pacers and the Hawks are the 2 teams that have played the Cavs the toughest. Now, some people might say, well, one of those games, the Cavs rested everybody. 2 of those games, the Cavs were completely whole. In one, Indiana won, snapped the Cavs' 12-game winning streak. And tonight, the Cavs were completely whole, and it goes down to the wire, and you need Matthew Dellavedova to hit a bunch of shots in the fourth quarter, and LeBron to be great closing out the game. What do the regular season games against Indy mean to you?
Well, you know, Chris, I've been writing this all week. They don't mean much to me.
Okay.
I'm in the camp with LeBron and Frank Vogel that it's just different from playoff time because there are days in between all the games. You can play harder, you can play longer. There aren't extenuating circumstances that affect one team and not the other. Schedule, travel, that sort of thing. So on the whole, I don't put much into it. But I loved the way the Cavs went through Timofey Mozgov right at Roy Hibbert all night. That was an individual message. That the Cavs can and will play like the Pacers do.
That's a good point. Talk about matching physicality to physicality. Right there, Mozgov was somebody that, you know, before they brought in Mozgov, they didn't have that physical presence down there. Now they got somebody out there that's going to bruise you. He's showing that he can do it on the defensive end. Then he's going out there right now and he was bullying Roy Hibbert. He was getting them under that basket. Hibbert couldn't. They tried to play man, you know, straight up. He didn't have a chance, and then the shots that he missed, it was just point-blank shots that were on Timofey. But he got to the spots he wanted to get to. And you add him, add in Iman Shumpert on the defensive end. That toughness right there, man. He's swiping at balls. He's getting down and dirty. They got a team that is equipped, just like LeBron said. They're equipped to handle multiple different ways of playing, you know, postseason type of basketball. They're ready.
Isn't Indiana, though, in some way, a team that is really built for the postseason? A team that could give the Cavs some problems.
I still would maintain that I would think the Cavs, they were not going to say this, but I would think the Cavs would want to avoid Indiana in the first round. Just for the simple fact is I think the Cavaliers will take care of the Pacers in 5 or 6. But the style that the Pacers play, the bruising style, the physical style, you just don't want to get beat up in the first round and then set the next opponent up for in the second round for it. You know, that's what I believe in.
Right, absolutely. Losing is not the issue. Maximum effort and physicality is what it would be. But I think, you know, they're playing so well. I don't think that they're concerned either way.
But I'll tell you this, I think me and Joe is agreement about this.
What's up?
The first round matchup we want to see is Cleveland-Miami. Take basketball out the equation. Cleveland, Miami.
Come on, man.
Man, I need some sun. I need a time.
All right, fine. You can talk about that, and you can talk about that. I'm going to speak on behalf of the fans. I feel like I've got the pulse of the fans.
Indeed.
Fans should and are rooting for the Boston Celtics to get to the number 7 spot in the Eastern Conference.
Boy,
I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
But you know, Miami put the hurting on, I think, Denver tonight.
Yes.
They're playing really well.
Yes. Dwayne Wade playing like Dwayne Wade again.
Man.
Goran Dragic controlling their offense, battle-tested, a better coach, top 5 defense in the NBA.
You don't think Cleveland fans want to see that matchup?
No. No.
You know, kind of battle-tested. Dragic has only been in 1 playoffs as a backup. Hassan Whiteside has never been in the playoffs. So that's a little over.
Luol Deng has, Dwayne Wade has, 2 very important guys.
Obviously, Dwayne Wade is he's a certified Hall of Famer, and Eric Spoelstra, this isn't his first rodeo. So they have it, but the way LeBron says it, like that is not the team that went to the 4 finals.
Yes.
The Cavs don't want to see the Miami Heat.
I don't think the fans want to see the Miami Heat. No.
You don't think they want to see LeBron James going back to Miami?
Cleveland fans?
Yes.
No, because they're a bigger threat than the Boston Celtics. Cleveland Cavaliers fans want and should want the easiest road to the Eastern Conference
Finals. I'm giving
Finals.
the Cavs fans a little bit more credit.
Oh,
I think they're a competitive bunch of group of people there. I think they want the most compelling, most entertaining matchup out there.
I smell burning. It's because somebody's pants are on fire here.
You know, that was
You're lying to yourself. Fans are lying to themselves.
That was some weak stuff right there.
Miami's tough, man.
They're tough. I think the fans give the Cavs fans more credit than that.
Either way, the Cavs going to the playoffs after beating the Indiana Pacers tonight, 95-92, the third team in the NBA to clinch a playoff spot. For Chris Haynes, Joe Vardon, I'm Chris Fedor. We'll talk to you next time here on cleveland.com. Later.